Happy Wednesday, everyone, and this week's book of the week is Happy Wisdom Wednesday, everyone, and this week's book of the week is How to Win at B2B Email Marketing, A Guide to Achieving Success by Adam Q. Holden-Bache. Now, this book has actually been in my library since 2015 because I actually met the author back in 2015, and he signed it right there for me saying, "Omar, may all your campaigns be winners." See, when I first started my career in medical devices, I did not know anything about business. And I was coming right out of medical school, and so I attended I guess you can call it a business conference, right? And Adam was one of the speakers there, and I was so impressed by his presentation. And of course, he gave me one of his books, and we've been good friends since. But the remarkable thing about Adam is that when email was about to be dead back in 2009, where the Wall Street Journal wrote about it and said that email's dead, and all these other magazines pretty much said that email's going to be going away. Even the COO of Facebook said that it would be gone. Adam was opening an agency and hedging on email marketing. And guess what? 10 years later, he's still right more than ever, because email, the usage of it and the number of accounts keeps increasing over time. And it's still one of the most valuable channels you can have, because what we've realized is that while social media is very valuable, you're beholden to the platforms, because one day they can decide, hey, you know what, for you to reach your customers today, you're gonna have to pay money. Oh, by the way, you're gonna spend a little bit more money too. That's LinkedIn, that's Facebook, that's Twitter, that's how all of them work, which is why the goal is to take your conversations on social media and try and collect a book of business. Now, with B2B, How to Win at B2B Email Marketing, what I love about it is that it's a great book for both a salesperson who's looking to just improve their tactics when it comes to emailing, and a marketer who's trying to create better campaigns, because it's, first of all, beautifully done, as you can see here in the book, and I, of course, highlighted quite a lot of colored pages, beautiful gloss finish, and more importantly, this was written in a way that a very well written textbook in science has been written, which is enough detail for you to get the point, and always multiple ways where they're going to visually explain the key takeaways to you. And of course, at the end of every chapter, he provides a nice winner's circle. He kind of has this theme around racing, so he provides a nice winner's circle where he wraps up the main points, and of course the starting line of each chapter, which summarizes what you're about to read, which is a very thoughtful way of doing this. Now, of course, I'll tell you right now, especially in my industry, which is life sciences, medical device, biotech, and pharma, the vast majority of people, 9 out of 10 times, do not know how to write an email to save their life. So I'm not going to tell you everything in this book, which is why you should get it, but with the help of the magical, wonderful internet, let's look at one specific area that's going to help open your open rates, and that is the subject line and how people look at things in mobile. So, with the magic of the internet, let's get a split screen. Fantastic. Now, let's look at this when it comes to mobile, because the majority of people, anywhere between 60 to 70% people, use their mobile phone just to read email. Now, when we look at the mobile phone, when you open an email, here's what it looks like. There are 3 key areas you have to focus in on and you have to get right. Now, number 1, who's it coming from? That's very simple, a simple question that we often forget to answer, because someone might know me online as Omar, right? But perhaps they don't see my full name on social media, like Khatib. So when I send them an email from my company email and they see, for example, O Khatib, and they don't recognize the name, they're not going to open it. So ask yourself, when you connect with prospects on LinkedIn, do they see your full name on LinkedIn? And is that full name being shown in your email from the from address? So if your name on LinkedIn, for example, is Janet Smith, make sure that your email says either Janet, Smith, or both. It can't be something obscure like JS something, right? Because then the recipient's not going to know who that is. Next, we talk about the subject line. I can't tell you how many times people want to talk about their product in the subject line or put some extremely obscure reference or try and sound smart. Listen, when people sign up for email, they don't want email. Even when they sign up for it, they want email. Put something in the subject line that's going to be personalized to them. Something that mentions someone that they might know, such as, hey, Dr. Smith dash Dr. Janet told me to talk to you about this. So we have some personalization in there. We have some familiarity because we mentioned a colleague that they might know. That gives us a little bit of more authority because we're being referenced, through a colleague. And we say this. Talk about this. Talk about what? There's a little bit of curiosity in there. That's the whole point. And the other thing is that in the subject line, make it short and concise, but use very clear language. Do not use flowery language. I don't know why it is that sales and marketing people, they want to use very long and sophisticated and complicated words. Concise, simple business writing is what's most effective. Not using flowery, eloquent words. So instead of saying, I was very happy to meet you, just say, I was happy to meet you. Instead of saying something like, discuss your possibility of looking into our device, you say something like, would like to discuss your interest. Lastly, it's called the pre-header or the preview text. Now, everyone usually scans their emails and they look at this one little area, and that gives them an idea about what they're going to open. And of course, when you're doing cold emailing or hopefully slightly warm emailing to someone that you're trying to do business with, they're going to scan that and decide whether they're going to open it or not and just forget about it. And here's some more, really important points about this one area that a lot of people forget about. And to reference one of my mentors, Chris Prentice, he would say, in sales, you want to be explicit, meaning you don't want to leave any room for ambiguity, any room for interpretation. So in the pre-header, instead of saying something like, hi, Dr. John, I was interested to speak to you and gauge your interest on looking into our technology and see if it was a great fit for your clinical needs. Just, word salad there. Something better would be, hi, Dr. John, I wanted to reach out and see if you're interested to learn more about our device. Simple as that. Now, I wouldn't recommend that in the pre-header, right? Because we don't want to be pitching in the pre-header. We want to gauge interest. So let's go back to one of our other subject lines, which is, let's just say, hi, Dr. Janet dash Dr. John said I should reach out to you about this. In the pre-header, it would be something like, hi, Dr. Janet, my name's Omar, and I'm reaching out because Dr. John had told me you would have an interest in this technology because of your interest in cardiac surgery or something very specific, right? And now what we want to make sure is that the pre-header supports more or less the subject line up above it and give a nice intro, enough for them to look at it and get interested to say, oh, let me read on because this is a colleague who's recommending me to this person because of my interest in this one specific thing. Again, you're just getting them to say yes. Yes to reading who it's from, yes to what's the subject line about, yes to the preview email that they're going to spend time or a few seconds reading, yes to opening the email, right? And then of course there's a whole line of things that you go through to get them through the email, and of course clicking the right thing or setting an appointment with you to the next step. But you can learn all about that here in How to Win at B2B Email Marketing. It's a great book. And again, I've had this since 2015. I'm still picking it up and referencing it. And as you know, when I make a recommendation on a business book, you definitely should go out and get it. So you'll definitely love it. You'll be happy with it. Make sure you send Adam a tweet or a LinkedIn message if you end up getting the book. Let me know what you think about it. I know he puts a lot of work in this. And hey, the guy's lasted for over a decade, and he won. So that's your book of the week. Happy Wisdom Wednesday. Happy selling. And as always, I'll see you next week.